Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, and we have our Coro Coro news for the month, and it's nothing exciting. I mean, look at this. It's just Super Mystery Dungeon news, and wait a second. Enhance. That's a Zygarde Core, but this one's blue. Wait a second, this is actually very consistent, because with the Japanese variety show a couple weeks ago, it was said that there were 2 Zygarde Cores, and now we get to see the other one, which is blue. But this does also go in line with the Pokemon lore about the Zygarde Core, that we have the official statements about it. You know, at this stage, the aspect of Zygarde is a little more than a part of the Pokemon's brain. The cores are self-aware, so it implies that there are multiple Zygarde Cores, and that kind of becomes its own thing. However, in that same statement, it says other cores. Now, does this mean that there are only 2 from the Japanese show? Or does it mean cores as in plural, as in interacts with 2 or more other cores? That's going to be the interesting thing. So it does pose us with 2 scenarios here. Scenario number 1, that there are just 2 cores, and one of them is currently the Zygarde we know. The other one is about to go on Ash with an adventure and whatever else we're going on to. It also becomes all the other Zygarde forms like Zygarde Dog, and then forms with the other Zygarde and all the other cells to make Zygarde's complete form. If it just stays red and blue, we can look at the Zygarde complete form, and it has the red and blue on its arm things, and that just kind of makes sense, you know, 2 halves forming into one whole, and then we can just kind of see, alright, that's how this lines up. But it also does go with Pokemon X and Y. X and Y has had the blue and red coloring scheme that Pokemon likes, and maybe this will be meant to bring together all the legendaries of Kalos in a better way. Or, scenario number 2, there are actually multiple cores that represent multiple colors, which is very consistent with another theory I had, that there's tons of cores and cells scattered about, and whenever there's trouble, one of them can respawn to a local area, and if things get heavy, then it becomes regular Zygarde. But if we look at Zygarde's complete form closely, in its center, in its chest, in where that you would expect like a core for power, if we're talking about some kind of mech or something, or just cores in general, it seems like the core of Zygarde's complete form has 5 colors. So there might be more, or this just might represent some kind of rainbow spectrum, but that could mean there's 5 or more cores that respond with all the crazy events going on about Zygarde, and each of those represent that different color. So we've seen the red and blue, and there's potentially orange, white, purple, and maybe some other colors that we aren't aware of, that we can't see, or some crazy rainbow disco thing of this jack-o'-lantern Pokemon. Now, this does stay consistent with my theory, and we can just kind of see how this one plays out. So there's a lot of different things going on with what this could mean, and we know that this is tying into the Pokemon X, Y, and Z anime chapter, so we just kind of have to see how this unfolds. Is this getting more and more depth for the story because there might not be a Z version? Maybe Z version was scrapped and then they decide to get all the lore out in just the anime and keep it like there? Or is there still more yet to be discovered about Zygarde and all this craziness until we have every little bit of information all wrapped up and given to us? So what do you guys think? Do you think that the first theory is correct, that there's only 2 cores? Do you think that there are multiple ones that represent the chest core piece of Zygarde's complete form? Or is it some other crazy theory that, you know, no one has really thought about? But it seems like we're getting information that's kind of closing in on what we might expect, but every once in a while we get thrown a new curveball. This was a blue Zygarde core, and now it just kind of changes things up on what it could mean. It shuts out some possibilities, but opens new ones at the same time. So we don't have any official game news and like new Pokemon announcements, but we are starting to fill in what we know about the 6th generation. So if you guys enjoyed this video, that's some Zygarde storyline stuff for you. I hope you all have a nice day. Thank you for watching.